Hello, everyone, and welcome to Enchanted Chatter. I will be totally honest. It was 8 o'clock, and we were chatting before we went live, and I was like, "Oh crud, we've got to go live." We were very excited to have Kriston join us this week. So, Kriston, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kriston. I don't know. I feel like this is an interview. I was about
Oh
to
my
be like,
gosh, it's not.
I was about to be like, I'm 30. I have 2 cats, 2 dogs. I'm a teacher during the day, Lorcana player by night,
and sometimes Lorcana Judge.
and sometimes Lorcana Judge. So, Ruby Amethyst Main. Hopefully, praying that Be Prepared gets reprinted.
You know,
I know that other people have other feelings.
I will say, I feel like the game needs it. Like, as much as awful as it is, like, there has to be something that just, like, levels everything.
I was about to say, I don't love
Sisu feels unfair to me.
But I also feel like
Yeah.
Be Prepared is pretty, like, fair. Of cards that, like, people don't like, I think it's fair. It takes out both of our boards.
I feel like it's better than Sisu. Sisu just feels awful.
Yes.
Granted, unless you're the one playing it, then it feels fantastic. Then it's like,
Yeah.
aha,
See,
you
I
have nothing.
agree.
I get all the things.
Yeah.
I also hate Sisu, but a little Be Prepared for everybody's damage. We're good. That's fine.
Yeah. It also, it's like a 7 cost. It's not cheap.
No,
And-
so you can
it's uninkable. So if it gets stuck in your hand too early, they made it work.
Yeah. So I think it's a fair card, and I do agree. Like, there should be some kind of board reset, because then aggro will just go off, and then we'll all be playing aggro, and that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Quickest games of our lives, though. I guess, right?
No one will ever go to 50 minutes. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a polar opposite from a couple of weeks ago whenever it was everyone's playing red blue and we're all going to go to time and turns and
yeah. I feel like anytime I play like a red mirror, it's just like we always go to time. There's it's kind of hard to not just clearing each other boards back and forth.
It's like, oh, you played a thing, I undo your thing. Oh, now you played a thing, now I undo your thing.
Oh yeah, I remember from first chapter, like when Maleficent Dragon was still in Ruby Amethyst. Like, me and my opponent were both playing Ruby Amethyst, and we both had a Maleficent Dragon. We were like, that's all we had, and it was like, who's gonna play it first? Huh? Who's gonna play it? But
it's literally just the name of the game sometimes, where it's like, I was even playing League yesterday and we were just like, I was on Blurple and then my opponent was playing Emerald. What was Chelsea on?
Emerald Amethyst.
Amethyst, yes, thank you. I was
We
like,
both were. You loved it, right?
Green. But we were just like, I'm not turning things sideways. We're just like waiting for the other. So then our boards just were like lined up until like someone finally just like turned one sideways. Then it's like, okay, now go.
Yeah. Or you get that else out and it's like, I'll make you turn it sideways.
Exactly.
Yep. What got you into Lorcana?
So I played Pokemon first. That was my first TCG. I didn't even know anything about trading card games when I was growing up. Like, I didn't have friends that were into them. I didn't even know they were a thing. And then I met my boyfriend, my wonderful boyfriend. And he played Yu-Gi-Oh. He was super into Yu-Gi-Oh. And then I would go to all these card shops with him and just sit there. And then one day he was like, I'll buy you a Pokemon pack. Like, this will be fun. And so he got me a Pokemon pack, and I opened like an expensive card, and everyone was freaking out. I had no idea what I opened. And I was like, ooh, okay, so this is fun. I can see why people are addicted to opening packs. And so then I was a collector, but then I had all these cards, and I was like, well, might as well put them to use. Will you learn Pokemon with me? And so he learned Pokemon with me. I was super competitive into it, and I was going to all these leagues. And then there was one of our smaller shops, they needed a judge, and they knew I was a teacher, so they were kind of like, that kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, you have to know all the rules, like the school rules and like ethical rules, all that stuff. So would you like go take the test and become a professor? You get cool stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm down. I love cool stuff.
Cool
And
stuff
so,
is a solid
That's
selling
the best
point.
incentive.
Yeah. So I took the test to become a Pokemon professor, and I passed it. And then so I was judging my like Pokemon leagues every week, and I was kind of the judge that also taught new players. So that's how. Oh, you asked me how I got into Lorcana. My
It's all
bad.
right.
All this is relevant.
All of
This
this
is
leads
how your
into
skills
Lorcana.
transferred over.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was hanging out at home, and Pokemon was kind of dying down. It was getting into like a stale space. And Matthew came home and he was like, I saw this YouTube video of people playing this new card game called Lorcana. It looks kind of cool. You want me to show it to you? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was Disney. So I was like, okay, obviously I feel like it's going to be popular. I wasn't a Disney adult. This game has made me become a Disney adult, but I was like, yeah, sure, if we can get like the product, let's learn it and see how it goes. And of course there was no product to be found. Somehow we found starter decks, and we bought the starter decks, we learned how to play, and then I beat him, and I was like, I'm in. I am sold. I love this game. So all it took was that one time for me to beat him, and I was like, I'm in. Let's sell all our Pokemon stuff. We'll just invest in Lorcana and like get really competitive into it. And ever since then, we've just been like loving it, loving the game, loving all the people that we meet from this game. This game is so different than like any other TCG that ever. So I love Lorcana. I'm so happy that my boyfriend saw that random YouTube video one day.
Was it like
I love it.
one of the original, I feel like, Liam and Aaron videos, or was it a different one?
I think it was the Ryan Miller, Steve Warner one where they play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was that one. And like, of course, at the beginning, I didn't understand, like, why would I challenge you when I can quest? Like, questing is how you win. And then, like, eventually, you learn the strategies, and it's just like the game. I love how it's like easy to learn and fun to play, but also there's like, you can be competitive in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
what has been your favorite event to be a judge for?
it has to be like the OG DLC Atlanta. That one was just so much fun. I met so many people. I met Judge Phil there before he was the Judge Phil. And Googly Glimmers was there. Brandon, I remember Brandon walking in, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's like on all the YouTubes. And I made a really good friend who lives in New York, and we still stay in touch. So you just meet all these people. But like getting to meet the players, you could just feel the excitement in the room at DLC Atlanta. We were all nervous but excited because it was the very first one. So that one was my favorite.
I'm jealous. I had a badge for that event, but I think I had something going on where I couldn't go, so I didn't get to go. And I'm
dang.
Part of me is like kind of glad, because I know it was very bumpy, and I then got to go to Chicago, and Chicago was really nice. And then the Dallas Fort Worth event was, I feel like, even better. And then Continentals was even better. So I'm excited that like I went to the events I did, but I also am a little sad because I feel like I'm always sad. I have a lot of FOMO when I miss these events, kind of like Gen Con this weekend.
Yeah, all those tweets from those. I'm like, aw.
I had FOMO whenever y'all were both up in Arkansas, and I was just like watching Courtney in my car with my nieces and my son, explaining to 11-year-olds how to play the game and why what she was doing it was important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really fun event. I was very excited to go up and meet all you guys in person and hang out more. And now that I had befriended you on the internet, I was like, let's be friends in real life.
Yes. It was so good to see you again. And now I just want Bri to come up. That would be nice.
We're literally planning a trip because my brother-in-law's, or not my brother-in-law, my husband's, I was fixing to say my mother-in-law's sister, and then it all got jumbled up. My husband's aunt lives in Arkansas, and so we're literally planning a trip for the end of the summer to go up there to see them. And then there's that 10K up there in November.
Yep.
Yes.
That I have on my calendar.
Oh,
to go to.
Good. I'm hoping I'll get to play in that 10K, but if they need a judge and I'm around, I'll do it.
Do you like playing or judging more?
Oh, I mean, I do love playing this game. I do get really nervous at the big tournaments, and so sometimes judging is nice. Just being able to walk around and help out my community, help out my friends, Philip and Lexi, and I still get to see everybody, which is one of the best parts of this game is all the friends you make. But it is a little FOMO because you get to watch all your friends doing so well, and you're like, wish I could be up there doing that. But also Philip and Lexi were amazing. They fed me and let me have any snacks I wanted. So
snacks are important. You got to keep the judges fed, judges, commentators. You got to keep them fed and happy.
I feel like judges and commentators don't always get taken care of as well as they should. So I'm glad that they did, because a lot of times they're just oh, they're just here. They don't. It's something that's just people just don't think about. So it's nice to know that they were very cognizant of she has needs too. She is still a human.
Yeah. So, I mean, playing is fun. Judging is fun. So I'm really happy if I get to do either one of them.
That's fair. Basically just being at the event in some capacity. It feels nice, right?
Yeah, I love it. And I mean, getting paid, guaranteed money is nice. Sometimes you're paid with money, sometimes you're paid with product. So that's always nice. But just the friends you make are priceless.
I know during the event at Sharp Gaming, I had to call a judge once, and it was a pretty it was a very valid mistake that my opponent made, and I was like, I just don't know how to resolve this.
Right.
So we really need to call a judge. I was like, I'm not mad. You're not in trouble. I was like, but I'm going to holler judge.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually took that call, and I think you did a really good job handling it. And I forget the other judge's name at the event who was at the stream table.
Hannah,
yes. Thank you. Hannah was also wonderful. I played on stream twice, and both times when I played, I thought they did a fantastic job of being like, hey, I know your opponent, but I will be totally unbiased. If you think you want to have if you need a judge call and you want to have a second judge come over, don't feel afraid. And I really liked that was very transparent. I didn't have any issues. I feel like it's pretty hard when you're at a local event like that to have a judge that doesn't know people in a tournament. And I think that the community as a whole has gotten so like you said, I feel like everybody is really friendly at events, so it's hard to not have that happen. And I think it's cool to see all of the judges being very unbiased and very fair. So just as a player, I liked that.
Yeah. That was when I judged the Lucky Llama tournament that Sharp Gaming had. That was just one of the things I was most nervous about because I knew I was gonna Team Inkfinity was there, and for those that don't know, I'm on Team Inkfinity. And then like all the local players of Fort Smith and Northwest Arkansas. And so one of my biggest, like, when I was talking to the head judge was, how should I handle like a judge call if it's my boyfriend Matthew on the other side, or if it's a Team Infinity member? And he just said being transparent is the most important thing. So like going up to them and doing what Hannah did, saying like, hey, I have a personal relationship with this person. If that makes you uncomfortable, I'll get a different judge, no problem. But I promise you, like, I am completely unbiased. The rules are the rules. I can't change those. So yeah, I think that like it was one of the things I was most nervous about, but now that I've judged more, I've realized like just being honest and letting them know, and they're really appreciative, and most of the time they have no problem because they're like, because they know. The rules are printed, so I can't change those, and the corrective actions are out there. People know them, so. And if they have, we always say at the beginning of tournaments, if you don't agree with a judge call, you have the right to appeal. So
I think I feel like Bri and I talk about this quite a bit. Whenever we talk about big tournaments, we always have a PSA of, hey, if at an event, even if it's locals, always, if you don't agree with something that like the other player's telling you, or you just think there's been a mistake somewhere.
Or you're just unsure about something.
Yeah. If you have a question, never be afraid to call for a judge. Also, a fun fact that I feel like a lot of people don't know is if you are playing in a tournament and you really have to go to the bathroom and haven't had a minute to go to the bathroom, you can call a judge over and they will watch your deck while you run to the bathroom. It's the more you know.
Yes, that is important. I feel like some people don't realize you can ask for that and get a time extension. And I take full advantage of it at set championships. Sometimes you don't get those times in between rounds.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of yourself first.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, for those of us like myself who have usually a infant somewhere on their hip or around in their general vicinity, judges are also who you can go to if you get to an event, and they can assign you like a specific table, and then you don't have to pick up and unload your entire child and their 500 toys and snacks that they want for an hour just to move over 3 seats.
Yeah.
Judges are I wouldn't say like your friends, but they're there to help you, and they're there to make sure that the event runs smoothly and correctly. So don't be afraid to talk to them, ask them a question. They're not scary.
Yes. Yeah. We are not scary.
Yeah. Most of the time they're just players also that just happen to just also be good at remembering all of the rules and the corrective actions. So they're also a judge.
Yes.
Don't worry. When I'm walking in between rounds, I'm like refreshing the rules. That's what I'm doing. If you see me on my phone, it's me like going, okay,
there's a lot.
Remember that. Oh yeah.
Especially not with like a specific program or anything for y'all to go through at the moment. Like with Lorcana, like it's really just like you just have to stay on top of it yourself, which is a lot of additional work on top of just like, it's not like they send you okay, here's an updated guide for you for this set champs. It's there's nothing.
And there's no cheat sheet that has been made yet. Like Pokemon, when I was a judge in Pokemon, we had these cheat sheets like real small, and like remembering like confusion, burn, poison, stuff like that. But they haven't made anything like that for Lorcana yet. And so you literally have to scroll through like 7 pages. And like, I think the hardest part of judging Lorcana is remembering what type of error they made. Like, because when you go into the tournament
guide
organizer, like Melee, like for Ink Clash, we used Melee. So in Melee, when you're going in to document like what the judge call was and what the corrective actions were, the hardest part is, for me at least, probably not for other people, but for me, it's like knowing which error they made. There's like card count error, versus hidden information error versus general rule error. So, like I thought, like I had a judge call where a person drew 2 cards instead of 1. It was an easy fix, but is that a hidden information error because they saw things they weren't supposed to? Or is it a card count error because they drew 2 instead of 1? It ends up being a card count error, but like my natural instinct was to think, it was hidden information because they saw things they weren't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just little nuances like that.
What is the most common judge call you get called for?
Like the card count error, like people drawing 2 instead of 1 on their turn,
Mhm.
or and then several times it's like they pick up their inkwell instead of their hand. So that happened. Those are like really the only, like I would not the only obviously, but like the most common. Yeah. So
that makes sense. That's funny because I am always like very diligent about my play area because I am terrified. Bri, are you going to bring up League last night?
I need to
you got it. Go for it.
So Bri and I got paired at League last night, and she was playing the Gaston. That it's
the 6 cost uninkable, the develop your brain Gaston.
Yeah,
develop brain.
You essentially get to draw 3 cards, take 1, put the rest back.
Yeah.
She was playing discard, so I had no cards in hand. I drew my card for turn. I had 1 card in hand because it was the Gaston. But then I drew my card for turn, and then I played the Gaston, and then I couldn't remember what the card was that I drew for turn, and then I almost picked them all up at the same time. Courtney was like, "Wait, it was this one."
I was like, "Wait a minute, keep those hands separate."
Yeah, don't touch your ink. I think that's, I mean, if that's something that you're worried about, like people out there in the universe, you know, the ink tokens, people, I could not use ink tokens because that's like a lot of,
yes,
you know what I mean?
I've seen people use them, and I'm like, I have so much respect for you.
That can adds extra brain.
Manage just this amount. I'm not adding anything else in here.
Yes, it's like I saw that, I forget his name. I think it's Sky from Ink Clash.
Yep.
Yeah. He uses ink tokens.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he was very organized, but my playmat would not look that way. I would be like, what's my discard? What's my deck? What part was my inkwell? Like, I'd be so confused. So kudos to people who do use ink tokens. I could never, but it must make, like, at least you know you'll never touch your inkwell on accident.
That's very true. Yeah. Have you ever had like a really weird judge call that you've had to handle?
Yes.
If you don't want to share it, that's fine. But if you have like a funny one, you can share.
I think he was just a new player, and he thought, I think he came from Magic, this person, because Magic does like upkeep, draw, or something.
Reset, upkeep, draw.
Right. And he just like, his opponent drew before he readied his characters. And so he did a judge call because he was like, doesn't he have to keep all those characters exerted because he drew before he readied? And I was like, I hear you because we do say ready, set, draw. However, if there's no beginning of turn effects, then it doesn't really change. Like the order doesn't matter. But then when you phrase it like that, he's like, oh, so order doesn't matter. So I can just do whatever in whatever order. And then I'm like, not quite, but I hear
what you're saying.
That's when you start bringing up the bag and people start getting extra confused.
Yeah. So, and I think if I remember correctly, they weren't playing like decks that are known for having those like at a start of your turn, like how Flynn, Sisu, like you do the lore before you draw, stuff like that. So, I mean, I applaud him for asking though. Like, I can imagine being a new player. It is scary it's like you don't want to ask a question that people already know the answer to, you know, like how students in school, they don't want to look dumb in front of their peers. But so good, kudos to him for asking. But that was probably the strangest call I had. Other than that, it's like my opponent drew too many. My opponent looked at their inkwell. I had one that it was a good question too. Like if Tinkerbell Giant Fairy attacks into Vinny and then does 2 damage to something else, do they get that lore from the other thing dying because of Vinny? But they don't, because
But they
Vinny
don't, because technically Vinny would die before the damage was applied.
Yeah, he would banish before.
Yeah, but it's like, and like with judging, I mean, some of the little like things you don't think about come up, and then you're like, oh, wow, that is a good question. I would love to look into that for you.
We had a question in the chat, which was what counts as note taking. So I think this was when we were talking about ink tokens. And I think this varies from tournament to tournament. Like I know there are set like rules about note taking, but there's some extremes that are allowed at some events and some that aren't.
Yeah, I mean, when locations first came, everyone, or like at first everyone was cool with you putting like a token on your deck to remember to do the lore in any of their, like, you know, Queen's Castle draw for that many characters. And then it was not okay. And that was considered note taking. And then like having a little dime on your hand can be considered note taking, to indicate which one's your hand and which one's your inkwell. Some tournament organizers are not okay with that. But
I ran into that somewhere, because I used to have like Disney doorables I would keep in my dice box. So I could just like set one on it, and that's how I would keep track of it. And then I was somewhere, and they're like, they're changing it where you can't do that anymore. So I took them out of my dice box because I was like, I don't want to be tempted and get in trouble.
Yeah. And then there was another one that like everyone was chill with at first, but then they weren't. I think it was like the on-stream tokens that they were using to show.
Like evasive, like the marker, the like abilities and like effects.
Yeah, like when they gain, like when they, I think it was the Chicago one or maybe Fort Worth, but like moving something into Cove, and then they had that token that said +1 strength, +1 defense. But for players, I think like if she's referring to like note taking, like pen and paper, like when we're counting lore, you just can't mark anything besides the number for lore. And I, as a judge, I've ran into people like writing down like, oh, this was goat beside a lore, so that they remembered, oh, they got this from a goat trigger. And I'd had to correct it and say, we can't take notes outside of just literal numbers or dashes, if that's how you do your lore.
So. Are you able, is it technically considered note taking if you mark who went first?
That's
no. I don't know. Not that. Because I do that too.
Because like that's one of the things that I almost always do. And then usually at the end of a round,
at the end of the round, I'll write stuff down
of like they were playing this and that.
It's just the like when they write down what gained their opponent or themselves the lore. That's, or if they, like I've also seen people write down if they used a song and put it in their inkwell, or not inkwell, if they used like Let the Storm Rage On, put it in their discard. I have seen an opponent write down Let the Storm Rage On so that they remembered what was in their opponent's discard. And I had to tell them that they're not allowed to do that, but the discard is public knowledge. You can ask to see your opponent's discard at any time. And I think, well, note taking's allowed in Pokemon, I believe.
And Magic, I believe.
Oh, okay. So like people who come from those TCGs are used to taking notes, and so that's just a learning curve for Lorcana.
Yeah. Also, the not having a sideboard, I know, is a big like mental thing for people switching over. They're like, what do you mean I don't get to have these cards over here? I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do y'all think we'll ever get sideboards?
I kind of hope so, but also I kind of don't, because I'm like, that's more cards I'm going to have to remember that I have. And there's some days when I struggle to remember the 60 that I play with every week. So
I go back and forth. I think it would be really nice because there are matchups where it's like, oh, if I could put this one card in during that matchup, it would be great. But it is a waste of a card any other time. For example, like the first one that comes to mind is like I Find in My Platinum. That card is wonderful when you're playing an item deck. When you're not playing an item deck, it is straight to the inkwell.
Yep. Yeah. If they added sideboards, it would definitely it would take me a minute to get used to that, because I have never had to do
so
such a
many
thing.
new cards would start seeing play, just because it's like, oh, this is really great in a specific matchup, but not great general. So most people don't really play it that much. But then it's, oh, this is available now, so I can have this for whenever I am in this matchup.
Yeah.
I would like it. It would definitely increase the difficulty for each game.
That's for sure.
Which I know there are a lot of people, I think, that would appreciate that come from the background of Magic, and like my husband would love that because he played Magic for years and was like, oh, Lorcana's just so easy. This is my first TCG. I like my 60 cards.
Yeah. Let's leave it at that. Why add more?
I'm like, this is fun. I like to play Belle.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was sorry. She mentioned Belle, and Belle is my favorite Disney princess, so
that's the correct answer.
Join the party.
Yeah. That is the only reason I wanted to play Blurple, was so I could play both Belles and the Enchanted Belle, Strange but Special.
Belle and Hades, because Hades is my favorite villain, and also Matthew Robert Davies is probably, I don't want to say he's my favorite artist I've met, because I've also met Kendall Hale, and he's also amazing, and they're also sweet. Every time I have an interaction with any Lorcana artists, they're so kind. But Matthew Robert Davies has a special piece of my heart. I love him so much. I've seen him
also has so many cards, and was kind enough to sign all of our cards at an event. Between Bri, myself, and some of our friends' cards that we brought, we had a it was a stack.
We had a binder, just me and my husband. We had a binder of them.
Oh my gosh!
Just we're sorry.
And he was wonderful. To talk to, and was super accommodating. We worked with him, and he's like, hey, so you guys have a lot of cards. Are you okay if I sign other people's cards first?
He was like, can I
time out these here? And then he was signing them in between, and then we just worked on the bulk of them at the end. It was
wow.
It was perfect. Shout out to Aaron and Liam for hooking us up with that.
Yes.
Setting that up for everybody.
That was a great event in Austin.
It was awesome. And then also I went to Miami TCG a month or two later, and he was also there, and I got there, and probably because of the amount of cards that we had, he was like, you're here. How do you have more cards?
How do you have more cards?
I don't have any for you. I just want to say hi.
That's amazing.
That's funny.
His partner is also wonderful and is a huge board game person. So we have bonded over board games as well.
He saw me at the hotel for Miami TCG, because we were all staying at the same hotel where the event was at. And Aaron was there, and I was coming down, as I was checking, we had just checked in, and I was coming back down to go out to get something out of my car, and he was in the lobby, and he just goes, I was like, hi.
You're like, yeah, it's me.
Yes, he does, and it is fantastic. We chat on Instagram all the time.
They're the sweetest.
The question I was going to ask before I forget it, and it blows just off into the wind. I was wondering if you had any advice for anyone who wanted to be a judge. What would be your advice for them?
So if you're wanting to become a judge, unfortunately, we don't have a judge program, an official way to do it, but I would start small and ask your local gaming store if you could judge like an event for them. And then the more you do that, the more comfortable you'll become. And I would just put yourself out there and apply for like a PPG event or like a CCS, or when DLCs happen again, apply to be a DLC judge. That's how I got into it. I don't know if I mentioned how I got into Lorcana judging, but so it's kind of a long story, but
I'm here. We have plenty of time. We're here. We only invited you on to share all this, so you're good.
So I worked at a different school district than I do now, so I think it's okay I say this. So at the school district I worked at before, high school graduation was required to go to. High school graduation happened to fall on the same weekend as DLC Atlanta. I wanted to go to DLC Atlanta so bad.
You were very sick, weren't you?
Yes, I ended up being very sick. But I told myself, like, I can't justify missing high school graduation unless I'm about to get paid to miss it. And so I was like, I'll apply to be a judge. I'll just go for it. I'll apply to be a judge. If they accept me, I guess I'm missing high school graduation. If they don't, then I'll go to high school graduation. No big deal. And so I just kind of let fate decide. And I...
Hey, JGZ, how are you?
So when I applied to be a judge for DLC Atlanta, I think it was just applying, like just like putting your information in there and like why you think you'd be a good judge. And then I think they cyber stalk you and like figure out like what your profession and like they do it
right.
Like, yeah. I mean, they did tell me that they knew more about me than I think, and I was like, oh, okay. And so they like do a little research about you, and then if they like you, you get sent to the next round of, which is like they sent you a quiz. So it was an open response quiz about like different scenarios, and you had to answer like how you would handle the different judge calls and like refer to what rule that breaks in the rule book. And then so I did that quiz, and then next thing I knew, I was getting an email saying you've been accepted as a judge. Here's your compensation. Here's what you can expect. Be here at this time, this time, this time. And that was, I mean, little old me from Arkansas got accepted to be a DLC judge for the first ever like North American challenge. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was so excited. I was like, I have to go to this. Like, this is an opportunity I can't miss up. So that's how I got into judging. Because then having that on my resume, like
everyone wants you to judge after that.
Yeah. And I had that cool official shirt and yeah, and that cool little badge that says staff. I felt like such a VIP. Like
I would judge just so I could get a cool t-shirt. Like that's all it would take for me. They would be like, you will be here for 3 days working like 12-hour days, but you're gonna get a t-shirt. And I'd be
I have so much FOMO over the fact that not everybody, a huge chunk of people got really cool Lorcana shirts at Gen Con this weekend.
I saw that. I'm
the
so jealous.
tie-dyed ink colored shirts are really cool, and I'm very tempted to make myself all of them.
Well, if someone doesn't want their ruby one, I will. I love that color, that ink color. So if no one wants their ruby one, hit me up. I'll let you know where to send it.
Also, JDZ is making me very nervous. I don't know what happened on the internet with this.
Rapunzel. Don't scare me like that. Don't say
I know.
sorry.
Now we're all like
in the same sentence. Hold on.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like, keep talking, Kriston, keep talking.
Something happened while we went live that we don't know about yet.
And I was like, I didn't see anything right away. And I was like, I feel like that would pop up in some of my Discords right away. So
I will say
feel like someone's trying to troll me a little after we had some shit talk earlier this week. Wait, what happened?
Last week. We love you. We love you, Liam.
No, not. I was like, earlier this week.
Okay.
I
thought you were talking about me messing with Liam again the other day on chat. I was like, it's not my fault that the world wanted to learn about our Lord and Savior Nathaniel Flint.
Oh
gosh.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's the correct reaction to it.
Listen, when Smee doesn't get reprinted and all
He's
the
just
skill
having
decks
fun.
are like,
All right,
oh no,
okay, good.
what's going to be our new Smee?
I hear you.
Since JDZ is in the quest, though, I will say he set the bar incredibly high for card reveals from the last one.
Oh
so
my gosh.
That hamster ball video is
waiting.
fantastic.
I still watch it whenever I'm like, I need a giggle.
Yes.
And so he set the bar really high. So all hail Nathaniel Flint. See, the gospel is spreading.
Oh my. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna.
But to answer your question again, if someone's out there interested in judging, just ask your local gaming store to judge like a league one night, and tell your people that are there, like, hey, hit me with any judge call. This is practice for me, and start doing that. Do it, and then apply for something bigger and have fun.
Oh no, someone is.
Oh no.
Someone is feeding the troll. No.
Listen, they're coming to the light. They're like, you know what? Wait a second. What if Smee doesn't get reprinted? Because
I will say, I was watching JDZ before we went live, and he had a whole dump truck outfit he was rocking on stream, and it was hilarious.
I need to see this. Is there a VOD up?
I feel like my life before
I'm sure there is
utter chaos.
I'll have to go look for that.
Get to see anyone else's stuff before that because I'm chasing toddler, getting him fed, and then attempting to get everything set up.
I'm just controlling 2 dogs, and they went for a car ride with my husband. So
that's why we didn't see Jester before we went live.
That is
why. I was just that late. I was like, oh man, I missed Jester.
I had my dog. He was perfect. He was laying right there, and he looked like a little toy, and then he jumped down, and he won't come back.
Oh.
He's in the living room now, but it was perfect. I was like, please stay there. That looks so good.
Yeah. My dogs regularly like to make guest appearance. Forrest crawled into my lap one day. He's a corgi, but he's a Cardigan Welsh corgi, so he's big.
He's a beefy boy.
He's 40 pounds. And
oh my!
The only thing small about him is his legs.
Aw.
He's dense, and he just crawled into my lap, and you can't see me whenever he's there.
Yeah. Bri, what is your favorite card been so far that has been announced?
Enchanted Hades.
Enchanted Hades. I should have known better.
All right. I love it. That's the whole reason why I played Blurple yesterday, because I was still on a high from Enchanted Hades getting released. My only downside is that Matthew didn't also get to do the Enchanted. They had another artist do it, so I was like, good. More artists should get recognized. He just killed the first one, so I was like, ah. Also, that would mean I would have to get him to sign more cards, so I'd be excited.
There we go.
Look at that. That is so pretty.
I am so excited for the art this set. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I was just telling Matthew, I was like, oh my gosh, they did such a good job. Our bank accounts are going to feel it so bad.
We're trying something new with this set where we're just going to purchase the singles instead of buying a bunch of sealed product. With it being so many reprints. We need so much of every card just because of our no touchy, but
I probably should have asked before I flipped to this, but I asked before we went live, so I know that Kriston, this was your favorite card that's been announced so far.
Yes.
Would you like to share what you would like to do with Powerline, though?
So when Be Prepared gets reprinted, because it will, right, guys?
With a group sing ability.
We will a group sing ability.
Move it up to 8, and then make it where sing together.
They did do down rarity, so they could
make a little tweak.
Yeah, and that might be a good little change. But like I'm thinking of like crazy combos like Powerline singing Pirate's Life, and then we're using his effect and we get a free Be Prepared off of it against an aggro deck, and we shifted on 4 and now we're back in the game. I just think
I'm
Powerline's
excited for
gonna
Powerline because we've been messing with an Amber Ruby song deck, which did like fine at the beginning of this last set. But once Powerline gets printed, it's just gonna get all the gas, and I'm super excited.
Oh yeah. I think I just think that this card will, like, maybe Amber Ruby songs will be meta. Like it'll be the best deck out there, you know?
I'm so excited. Just because you can get Ariel, she's also going to get reprinted, manifesting.
Yeah.
Dig for more songs, and then you just
unless you're Bri's husband, who has a curse with his aerials, and you should not let him buy your aerials either.
Yeah,
he hasn't been buying mine in a while.
And you have Ariel in it, Ariel will not find a song.
Right. I think y'all had mentioned that at a past Enchanted Chatter. Like he was just near your deck, Courtney, and then all of a sudden your Ariel started whiffing.
To be fair, we also blame him if he's not even at League. We were like, he must have been thinking about it, and that's what.
Oh yeah, that's totally fair. I get that.
But it hasn't happened in a while, so I think it's mainly because Joey hasn't been by any of my decks in a long time. So we're good. It's good.
He also hasn't really been playing Ariel. He's shifted to a new little color combo.
Is it green blue?
No, he's trying to make puppy deck work for me.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, he's on a Amber Sapphire kick right now with Ludwig.
A great segue into the next card that I was very excited, because I think that this could be very good in the puppy deck.
Yeah.
True.
During your turn, each opposing character with cost 2 or less gets -1. I like it. That'll be fun. And I think it would go good and like paired with Amber for sure. With all the low cost stuff. Sorry, I was gonna say because it says whenever so like it could be your opponent's character or your character.
Yep.
Right? I should know that, but I am the judge here, but yeah.
Let's return whenever.
That's true. Jonathan did point out, where's her name?
Oh
yeah.
Man.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Do you know what?
Hopefully that's just a release error and not that.
I think this might be just the image that I pulled. That just might be my bad. I was making this real quick before we started streaming, so nothing to see here.
That's also fair. She is an icon, so I mean, if you see her, you know who she is.
Exactly.
And literally in her name, she is an icon. She is a style icon. So I mean, you should just know her.
Hey, it's Daniel.
The art on this is awesome. I like all of like the little doodles around the mirror.
Yeah, all of her style.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited for this card.
This card
is so good.
Seems busted. I feel like the stat lines are good. This
makes the purple green just scarier. Purple steel, purple emerald, all the things. It makes my brain like, oh no.
Ruby amethyst.
All of it.
Yeah. I was just talking to Matthew about this earlier today, and I was like, I'm about to play Ursula, exert someone's Maui Shark, sing Pirate's Life for free. And I'm just so excited for that card. I hope it gets an epic.
It needs something. It's such a good card.
Yeah, epic.
This is awesome. And I agree. Like the fact it's inkable, so I don't even see the downside of playing this card.
Not.
Yeah.
Because with the effect, I feel like you don't want to play it too early. So the fact that it's a 5 cost doesn't feel bad. Because at that point you want your opponent to have like 5 ink so that they've played something bigger for you to exert. And this also just feels like it will change up like how you play to play against it, even because I'm thinking where sometimes I would want to hold off and not exert a character because I'm waiting for like my opponent to do something. Well, now if I think that they may have this in their deck, do I want to quest with them or do I want to use them to sing a song instead so that they can't use Ursula's ability?
Oh, that's going to add like another layer. Like,
yeah, there's
because normally it's like, I'll just keep my stuff readied so you can't challenge it and you can't do anything to it. But now it's like, oh crap, do I leave it readied so that they can now sing a song for free? Is that
right?
That's, oh gosh. Oh no, you've blown my mind. I didn't even think about that.
The world's greatest criminal mind. Oh.
And that got reprinted, right?
It did. Thank you.
Oh,
I just need a few more songs from my Steel Song deck and we're cooking.
Yeah, but that card is so good. Do we think though it will replace Elsa?
I think there's a world where you're playing both.
Playing both, or they're just going to be in different styles.
Different style decks.
Either way, if you're playing against Amethyst, turn 5 is scary.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's something to consider. Yeah.
And what because I'm trying to blank, what set is that Elsa from?
I think
she doesn't rotate out, right?
Yeah. She does not.
Okay.
She is set 5.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I just leaved her up yesterday.
I got one signed by JDZ.
Ooh.
And this Dumbo is so cute.
Dumbo is absolutely adorable. And also busted.
Yep.
Just him paired with Genie. And it's just like, oh, okay, so they're just going to get everything, all the cards.
But also, you know what I'm thinking? I'm excited to put this in an Infinity deck format. And I'm going to put him with Jafar.
Ooh. Oh, I did not think about that. That's smart.
Oh, God.
And now I'm gaining 2 lore for every card I draw. I love it.
She's broken the meta. It has been broken.
So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to gain 30 lore in a turn. Good games.
Good games. Good games.
GG, guys.
I mean,
at least you have to tap it and pay to also
right.
do it,
and that's
still being inkable is crazy.
Yeah.
I think that some of these cards, these newer cards, I am really liking the thought process and build they've put into them. Because, like, yes, this is inkable, and I know sometimes we say like we're waiting for. If they have really good abilities, a lot of the times they're uninkable. But I think that it's nice to see this card is inkable. The stat line's not like super, super beefy, being a 3/3, where I feel like it's still pretty fair. The ability making the player who's playing it exert the card, it feels very fair. And I know that that's been like, with some of the cards that we've seen in the meta, a lot of people haven't felt like some of them are fair. And it's nice to see, I feel like collectively as a community, the thought that they're fair.
Yeah, and I mean, it's still going to have to dry before you can even actually use the ability. So at least it's not on entry and every time they quest. Because if it was like on entry and every time they quested it would just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too broken. They did a good job of keeping it where it was still in check.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Oh man. That was my last one. I guess we are we can talk about the Diet Coke Invitational. I thought I had a buffer slide in between, which is why I got like nervous. So as many of you have heard me talk about, really whenever I'm anywhere and even on Enchanted Chatter. Oh no, I got all right. I love the new Ariel. I'm so sorry. I was putting this together right before.
She is going to be expensive.
And I love her. She's beautiful. She is literally, it almost feels like it's a screenshot from the movie. Like that's how perfect the art is on her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was a little bit better of a card. because I want to play her, and I don't know how playable she's going to be, but I love the card art.
Someone out there is going to start working, is cooking with Ariel in the kitchen, and it's going to be exciting to see what people come out with.
I am excited because if somebody makes a deck that she's playable, you can bet I will need 4 and be playing them.
I'm gonna say I'm excited because there's so many good cards. It feels like coming out. They're reprinting a lot, yes, but a lot of the newer cards that we have seen all seem very good, like for the most part. So I'm excited to see kind of where the game goes, since there's so much being added into the game that's good versus having a bunch of cards that are just kind of meh. We're getting a lot of. I'm
also excited just to see like the meta shift. I feel like, you know, for 8 sets, we have been seeing relatively the same decks be successful, and it'll be fun to have things shake up and see what happens next.
Yeah. I'm excited for this DCI though.
Are you coming?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. This
I want everyone to come to this.
Is fantastic. For anyone tuning in that hasn't heard about the Diet Coke Invitational, this is the second Diet Coke Invitational. The first was earlier this year, and it is put on by a member of the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth community. She is a Diet Coke fanatic. I thought I was a Diet Coke addict, and then I met her and realized she might surpass me. And during the tournament lull of earlier this year, was trying to think of a way to have a really fun, big event in Fort Worth and the Dallas area, and decided to make entry truly be a 12-pack of Diet Coke to feed her Diet Coke addiction. I would be lying if I said I don't also get some benefit from this, because there's always Diet Coke then whenever I am at her house or she comes over here. There's always a pack coming with.
Y'all have converted me into Diet Coke, where it's just like I show up at her house with more Diet Coke, and then we just drink a Diet Coke while we're there, and it's just like, okay, well, it's a constant rotation of Diet Coke. We need to recreate the throne from the last time though.
Yes, it was very fun. We turned all of the 12 packs into a throne. And it's just, this I think is a really great example of the Lorcana community coming together and creating a really awesome event that is very much fan and player driven. So we're excited to make this event even bigger than the last. So we increased the cap for players. We've been promoting it a lot more this time around. The entry is still a 12-pack of Diet Coke. And I'm excited to say that right before the call, right before the stream, I got one of the 2 cards that will be for the top 8 players. So as many of you may have seen, this was the last DCI card. It was Maui Half Shark. And we had, normal Maui, sad Maui. Ignore this extra lore pip. I swear. Don't worry. Maui does only quest for 1.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I think everyone's going to be really pumped for this next card. It's wish
I love that. That looks so cool. Oh, I'm gonna be grinding for this tournament now. I want that.
So I am thrilled for this card. I think it's playable in so many decks. It's super fun. The art is great on here. I just think that this is going to be super awesome. I can't wait to see what the playmats are, because there are first and second runner-up playmats. So it is going to be fantastic.
It should have, I believe, the ones last year had the Diet Coke Invitational logo on them and like a glitter. And so I'm hoping that these will still have glitter on them, because I loved it.
I would be shocked if if they're not stepped up even a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like that's like just the logo part. Make sure it's still glitter, and then Kirby's just gonna go absolutely crazy with the rest of it. I already know. Anyone that knows Kirby knows.
I'm super excited to share this with everybody. I was very honored that Kirby let Bri and I share it. I think it's a super fun card, and I hope that everybody comes out for the DCI. I know we're working on getting some commentators for it and everything. It's going to be a really fun event.
I love it. That looks so cool. I love his little hat.
It's great. Well, we have made it to the hour mark. I think we've covered everything I had on our agenda.
Y'all are so good about that.
We usually blab. If we get our friend Alex on here, who has also been a judge at DLCs, it almost always hits the 2 hour mark.
Yeah, sometimes we're really not. We can't control the blabbing that happens. I feel like luckily, out of the three of us, none of us went to Gen Con, so I think that helped. Sadly we don't get to talk about like exciting things we did at Gen Con. We did not win playmats at Gen Con. We did not win promos.
We didn't get paired into DKP round 1 every single day.
I saw those tweets. I would be so sad. Oh my gosh.
Well, we appreciate you so much for joining us. I know I added in our show notes your Twitter link, but you're also in all the Discords. And is there anywhere else anyone can find you?
Twitter, well, X, whatever you want to call it, but yeah, Twitter and Discord are usually the two ones I check the most. I'm on Team Infinity, and we have a Discord. I'm in there a lot. So yeah,
all lovely people.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Discord and Twitter.
We love it. Well, I appreciate you joining, and I hope you had some fun times with us. Hopefully, after you judge some more events, we can have you on and talk about those events with you, or maybe you top 8.
That's what I was thinking. Let me win the DCI, and then I'll come back.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it.
Marked, we'll clip that and play that before you come on.
Unclip it, if that's the thing. Unclip that.
Well, I appreciate everybody joining. Bri, any final notes that I forgot?
I don't think so. We're excited to see everybody at the DCI, though. Everyone we can convince to come down just to play for just for the low cost of a Diet Coke. 12-pack of Diet Coke. Come on. You can't beat that.
Nope. And I don't know if it says it on the thing, but I'm pretty sure, and Kirby or Jonathan can correct me in chat, I think it's pack per win. That's what it was last time. So it's a pretty good value for a 12-pack of Diet Coke.
And it's also like last time I didn't get to play, but I came by for a little bit in between hospital things with my grandma, and there was so many like highly competitive players.
There were a ton of highly competitive, but I also think there were some like just friendly faces from the community. So I think if you aren't super competitive, also totally an event that you can come to and feel welcome.
It's still Kirby's event, so Kirby's going to make sure everyone feels loved and welcome and accepted, and as having all of the positive vibes.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Well, sorry, quick question.
No. Yeah.
Are there side events at DCI, or?
Last time there was not side events. And that's mainly because of the pack per win, almost everybody played through to the end of the tournament.
Oh, okay.
So there wasn't like a huge need for them. But I will say we are like, I've been talking with Jonathan and Kirby a lot about this event, and I think if it ends up being that like there's a need for them and we can fit them in the venue, I think we can rally some side events.
That would be fun.
Kirby's probably like sitting there like, stop talking, Courtney, stop talking. Don't commit to side events.
Oh no.
But
I
think
the
the one nice thing about it is because it's pack per win and isn't only like top 8 prizing, it's a lot more friendly to just keep playing in the event.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I know a lot of Team Inkfinity is going, so
we're thrilled. I'm glad I conjure all into coming down.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining, and we will see you next week.